Well, I've been putting this off long enough. I'm probably not the only one. It's, guess nearing the end of October. Time to winterize this thing again. Funny thing about that is, I always forget in what order to do things and what I have to do, and have to keep going over it. What do I do first? What do I do? And this particular camper for winterizing, none of the valves are marked, so it's kind of a guessing game. Anyways, I'll go through the way I do it. I imagine most RVs are probably similar, quite similar. Well, let's get to it. Nice fish. Okay, so the one thing I already did do was I drained the tanks, the gray water and black water. Hi, Benjamin. You gonna help me? You gonna remind me which valves do what? I sure hope so. Yes, you are a good boy, and that's your second home, isn't it? And I'm about to get rid of your second home. What is this? Oh, you got leaves. Okay, don't mind the mess because I just used it yesterday and I haven't cleaned it yet. So first, we want the water to be turned on. Now you want both your taps to have water coming out of them, but you want to drain your hot water tank, you want to bypass it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and drain it, and as long as it does not refill, that means that that means the valves that I had turned are correct. Okay, this particular camper, this is where the hot water tank lives. Right here, I'll try not to block that. Right there is the drain plug. So I'm gonna just pull that. I'm just gonna pull that right out. Now, most of these you want to be kind of careful with them. As you can see, it's a cheap and cheesy plastic plug in there. Not great access. This is the part where I usually get wet. I'm gonna try to avoid that. See, now the fact that the pump has not turned back on, that tells me that the tank is bypassed. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let that all drain out, and then I'll put the plug loosely back in for winter storage. As long as you remember to check that plug when springtime comes around. This tank here, it's a 6-gallon tank. Okay, now this stuff here, I just buy what's on sale, usually around $5. This is what I took out of it from last this spring I took this out. This is last year's. And it's pretty much the same color. So basically I'm able to save about half a jug a year. This jug here, it's gonna take this whole jug to do it, and it should just take the whole jug, which I get half of it back. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to drain the water holding tank inside the camper. And for me, I find the best way to do that is to just drain it out here, because that way it doesn't end up in my gray water tank, which I have already emptied, and I will do so one more time before I'm finished here. Now, can I do this without getting all wet? Okay, now I just kind of hang around close to the camper. That way, when I hear the pump struggling to get more water, I can shut this off fairly quickly, and I'm not running the pump dry for too long. Okay, now I have to access the water storage tank, which is under here. The original board got broke, that's why this is plywood. Okay, this is where all the guts live, down here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you could probably see it. The water is, it's about 1/3 full still. We want to drain it all out. If I failed to mention, always leave your fridge open too when you're storing it for the winter. So for me, winterizing the camper, it's always kind of a depressing day. But, I mean, it doesn't really have to be. I can still use the camper, I just can't use the bathroom, shower, water, that sort of thing. So I can still camp. It's not over yet. Right, Benjamin? You can camp too, because you like to camp. You're a camping dog. You're all wet. Stinky wet boy. Another thing I like to do is I will leave all the cupboards and whatnot open just to air out whatever, and I'll stick a couple mouse traps in here. I have not yet found a mouse in here, but I really don't want to either. Another thing you want to do, it goes without saying, is if you have any remote, like here we've got the TV, DVD, take the batteries out. With us, we have to take the TV inside the house because it gets too cold and it'll mess up the screen, apparently. It's a LCD screen, I believe, and that's a liquid crystal display. So you don't want to leave it in extreme cold. Okay, I can see it starting to get empty. Now you're going to hear the pump make a different kind of noise, and I'm going to shut it off when it does. I'm not sure, but I believe it's not really good to have these pumps pumping air instead of water. They use the water, I believe it's for cooling too. So okay, sounds different. Shut it off. Okay, this step is a bit of a pain. I'm sure it's not like this for all RVs, but this is the pump here. What I have to do is I have to get to this thing here, and I have to disconnect it from the holding tank, and I have this hose with this connector on the end, and I have to connect it up. So you might not be able to see too well because there is a definite shortage of room in here. This hose is going to go directly into one of those 4-liter jugs of antifreeze. Okay, so I put the jug right down there where it might not spill. And I want this hose to get right to the bottom of the jug, because I probably won't be here watching it that much. And it's gonna empty this jug. Okay, that seems good. Now, the next thing is, I don't know if this is the same as when you bleed brakes on a vehicle, but I think it might be. I tend to want to do the furthest tap away from this tank first. Now, you want to run the hot and cold because you want both lines to be full of antifreeze. Oh, one more thing. See, I missed a step almost. I was getting ahead of myself. I want to, one more time, now that I have ran a little bit of water here and there, I want to go pull the gray water and just drain whatever remnants is left in there. It's not really necessary because there will be antifreeze going into the gray water tank as well, but it's just the right thing to do, I think. Okay, now I'm just going to pull my gray water, and if you're concerned about me leaving it in the driveway, well, my gray water tank is pretty clean. You can drink from it. I wouldn't want to, but you probably could. Anyways, it's only going to most likely drain a few drops of straight water. Yeah, not even nothing worth draining. There wasn't even a quarter cup in there. But it's just a good thing to, a good practice, just so you know for sure. Okay, we're back inside, and we're at the furthest away point in the water lines. Oh, missed a step. Turn pump back on. Watch out, Ben. Back, back, back. Back, 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 back. All right, it's filling up the... Now. Straight water, straight water. Orange. Orange. Or, not orange, pink. 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 One last thing I've already done outside. Pink. Okay. Now, lights out. And we are done. Now the rest of this process is going to happen where I store it. Okay, so basically that's how I do things. Don't forget my disclaimer at the front of my videos. The only thing I think I have left here, I have to pull the battery out still, which I bring inside and leave it in warmth over the winter. But yeah, I need it still to pull the camper off, and I think that'll be another video because I like to keep them short. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. If I didn't, let me know, and I'll come out and do it. Okay, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. And Benjamin, thank you for your help. You were very helpful today, sleeping on my back porch. You're a good boy. You look tired. Is it nap time?